There was a witch doctor that was performing some kind of ceremony that looked a lot like baptism and looked a lot like communion. And I was young, new to Christianity. It really twisted my mind. I was like, how do I went to my priest. I was like, how do we know we have the truth? I mean, I just was watching National Geographic, and this witch doctor was doing something that looks exactly like our church. Why is that? And he's like, well, yeah, Satan, Lucifer, is a created being. He does not have the ability to create anything. All he can do is warp and twist and disfigure what Christ has given to us, what he's revealed to us. And so, I guess on one level, speaking in tongues could be a corruption of the Pentecost, the idea of Pentecost, but literally it comes in the 19th century. A person made this up, a person like me. And then all of these people believe it. And then there's some kind of supernatural phenomenon to back up the idea. But it's the emotionalism. That's what I was getting. I said day one why I was frustrated with Protestantism. It's because I could get in an emotional high. I could get into a frenzy. I could get all excited about Jesus. Or I could stay home and watch football and get the exact same feeling. I was like, football's a lot more fun. Forget church. I don't need this. This isn't Christ. If I get the same feeling from watching football as I do from going to church, then there's something missing here. I'm not getting Christ. And so, for me, as a young man, it's like, okay, I want Christ. I don't want this supernatural emotional high. I don't want to be just excited and jumping up and down, drooling over myself. I mean, people spoke tongues in the church I grew up in too. So I'm familiar with this. It's not like I haven't seen it before. I mean, we would watch and people would be falling all over in the aisle, channeling the Holy Spirit. And it's like, no. I'm looking for somebody that's injecting pure adrenaline into them or something like that. It's excitement. You could build up a frenzy like that if you're a good speaker. But that's not the Holy Spirit. A broken and contrite heart, O Lord, thou shalt not despise. So when we come to Christ on our knees, and that prayer that you saw, we read, recognizing our sinfulness and knowing that we're broken, but still coming to Christ and saying in the quiet of our heart, Lord, have mercy on me, the sinner. This is where Christ talks to us. He doesn't talk to us from that person jumping around that nobody understands but the pastor. I mean, he could start jumping around right now speaking a bunch of gibberish, and I could pretend to know what he's saying. I'll tell you exactly what I want you to believe while he's saying it, and how are you going to check it? Because I'm the only one that can understand him. So I will tell you what I want you to believe. Believe me, you will know. And that's what he's saying. End of story. But it's not, it has nothing to do with the tradition of the church. So this is the problem you get when you separate the tradition, the knowledge of the church that's been passed down through the centuries and given to people. And when you start having people have to read various parts of the Bible and make things up, this is where you start to have problems. This is where it becomes complicated, that like faith without works is dead. Some of Martin Luther's followers would have loved nothing more than to rewrite the Bible and completely ditch the book of James, because it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit their ideology. People like to overlook John 6:54. He that does not partake of my body and blood has no life in him. There's nothing convenient about these. This is the truth. And we have the choice. We have the free will. We can overlook it. We can ignore it. We can do nothing about it. Or we can give ourselves to it, as Acacius did on Saturday, as I've done, as Father's done. Said, Lord, I want you. I want to become like you. I don't know what this means. There's great struggles. It's very difficult. Like the Israelites, every one of us will find ourselves running through the desert sometime, where we don't feel God's love. We don't feel excitement or joy or anything like that. But it's real because God holds on to us even in our struggles. Faith doesn't come when everything is good, everything's going right. Faith really comes when we're tried, when your best friend dies, when you watch innocent children die, when you can't understand why. Why would a good God do any of this? Like Job, all your friends abandon you, and you come down with all these sores. Everything God's given you has been taken away from you. This is where faith comes in. And so we all go through that. Every one of us, we live out the Scriptures. The Scriptures are not just an idea or a nice story about a bunch of other people. It's the story of us. It's the story of me. It's the story about how God is reuniting all of us to Him, with the one condition that we choose to partake of Him and avail ourselves to the tools that He's given us.